New Delhi was the hub of global discourse last week when it played host to the 10th edition of the Raisina Dialogue, India's flagship annual conference on geopolitics and geo-economics. The Observer Research Foundation and India's Ministry of External Affairs organized the event. The Prime Minister of New Zealand was the chief guest at the inaugural session.
India that have a significant role to play in the Indo-Pacific region. In an increasingly multipolar world, India's size and geostrategic heft gives you autonomy. For at a time when democracy is in decline with less than half the world's adults electing their leaders, it truly is an inspiration that 650 million Indians turned out to vote last year in the largest election in history. Your national election is a triumph of logistics, but it's also a triumph of legitimacy. We want to live in an Indo-Pacific where countries are free to choose their own path, free from interference. A region where no one country comes to dominate. And it is a sign of the times that I have to stand here defending respect for sovereignty, yet New Zealand's approach is increasingly shaped around that objective.
US Intelligence Chief Tulsi Gabbard underscored peace as a unifying force, spotlighting the strong India-US partnership.
It's been a constructive few days where I've been engaging with our Indian counterparts. The partnership between our two countries has been strong for decades, and under the leadership of two great leaders and true great friends, President Trump and Prime Minister Modi, and rooted in our shared values of peace and freedom, security and prosperity, I'm confident that this partnership and friendship between our two nations and our leaders will continue to grow and strengthen.
Gabbard called on India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Prime Minister gifted her an urn of the holy Ganga water from the venue of the recently concluded Mahakumbh. Gabbard presented Rudraksh beads, which in Hindu religion is believed to aid in prayer, meditation and spiritual growth, to the Prime Minister. India's External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar spoke about how the structure of today's United Nations still lingers in the past.
I think we need, if to have an order, there must be fairness. We need a strong UN, but a strong UN requires a fair UN. A strong, a global order must have some basic consistency of standards. We have military coups to our east in Myanmar. They are no-no. We have them even more regularly to the west, where. They seem to be okay. So I think it's important to audit the working of the world for the last 8 decades and be honest about it, and to understand today that, the balances, the shareholdings in the world have changed. We need a different conversation.
Minister Jaishankar raised how the invasion of Jammu and Kashmir was portrayed as a dispute by the United Nations.
After the Second World War, the longest standing illegal, I would say, presence, occupation of a territory by another country pertains to India. What we saw in Kashmir. Now we went to the UN. What was an invasion was made into a dispute. So the attacker and the victim were put on par. Who were the culpable parties? UK, Canada, Belgium, Australia, USA. We speak today of political interference. When the West goes out into other countries, it's apparently in pursuance of democratic freedoms. When other countries come into the West, it seems to have a very malign intention.
The theme of this year's edition was Kalachakra, People, Peace, Planet. More than 3,500 delegates from 125 countries took part in the discussions.